In today's video, we are going to be playing around with some new makeup from Wet n Wild. I have some pieces from the collaboration with the Carebears. This one is my daughter's, and this one is my son's. If you are part of my generation, then you know you grew up with the Carebears. This was a huge part of my childhood. So I love being able to share part of my childhood with my kids. I was very excited when I saw the Wet n Wild was doing the collaboration with the Carebears. I thought the pieces were so freaking cute. I looked in so many stores, I could not find them. On the Wet n Wild website, the entire collection was sold out, and then it finally dropped on Ulta, so I was able to pick up the pieces from there. I didn't get the full collection. I just got the pieces, you know, that I thought that I might get the most use out of. Got my water here. I started to realize that I was getting dehydrated. So I decided to start trying my best to drink more water throughout the day. I like this one because it has a little filter in there, so you can put fruit or something in there and make yourself a little fruity water. Maybe some cucumber water, some lemon, strawberries, something like that. And what I've been doing is trying to finish out at least 3 of these. I don't know how many ounces this is, but I figure if I can finish at least 3, that's a pretty good amount of fluids a day. And so far I've been doing pretty good with it. First thing I'm going to do is throw on a lip mask. This is actually part of the Rare Beauty Colourpop Powerpuff collaboration. Smells so good. I don't have particularly dry lips, but with age, you know, you start to get a little fine lines going in your lips, and while they don't feel dry, they start to look a little bit dry, so I started incorporating lip masks into my routine. I really like the ones from Laneige, but I discovered Laneige was not cruelty-free, which is disappointing, but these are actually really good too. So I'm just going to kind of let that sit on my lips while I'm filming the rest of the products, and then we'll remove it whenever we put on our lipstick. First thing we're going to do is we are going to bronze. This is the Wet n Wild Live, Laugh, Hug bronzer. Unfortunately, there was only one shade. I do understand there being one shade of the blush and the highlighter. You know, you got the Heart Bear, you got the Sunshine Bear, goes with the collection. But I do wish that they would have had a few more shades, or at least a couple more shades of the bronzer instead of just the one. This is going to be very specific to only a certain set of skin tones. This is not my first time using these products. I have used them before, so this is not a first impressions. I don't know if you can see, there's a heart in here. What I'll do is I will drop some close-ups in here of some of the products as we go along, so you can just kind of see what they actually look like close up. I'm still filming on my phone. This shade right here just barely shows on me. I need something that's a little bit deeper. If you're kind of a fair to medium, this is going to probably look pretty decent on you. If you are deeper, this is not going to show up on you at all. But yeah, I've been playing around with my phone, my camera rather, since Thursday afternoon. It is now Saturday, and my biggest issue I'm noticing is the lighting. So you can see it, but barely. The ring light works good with my phone. As you can see, you know, the lighting looks pretty decent. I'm not really having any issues where that's concerned. But when I was setting up the camera, the lighting looked so harsh. I mean, oh my god, it was aging me 10 years. So what I did was I ordered a couple of box lights. See, a bronzer, it's pretty, barely shows on me, but it gives me just a hint of a little bit bronzy glow. I have to say that I am happy that all of my pieces pretty much came in intact. The only thing that had a slight crack was the blush. So a slight crack here and a slight crack here. If you guys have any experience with ordering from Ulta, they're very notorious for not packing things properly, and things tend to come shattered or broken. Thankfully, this was the only thing that was damaged in the entire package, and that's pretty good considering the fact that they sent it in a bubble wrap envelope rather than in a box. This is the Do What You Love blush. There's 2 hearts in here kind of intertwined. It's a really pretty soft petal pink. This shade is going to be really pretty for the springtime. So what I did was I went ahead and I ordered 2 box lights, soft box lights, because I want to see if it's the lighting or if it's the camera or a combination of both. And I got that Lumix camera from Panasonic that my husband picked out. I have until May 11th to return it to Amazon should it not work out. This blush has just a slight bit of luminescent glow. It is just so pretty. One thing I do love from Wet n Wild, they do have beautiful face products. All of their face products generally work really well for me. Of the 3 face products, the only one that I am not that fond of is the highlighter. This is the Let Your Light Shine highlighter. You've got Sunshine Bear on the cover, and there's a pretty little sun in there. It's a very gold yellow highlighter, and there are flecks of like micro glitters, which I'm not that fond of. Generally, I do like Wet n Wild's highlighter formula, but with this one, I'm just not fond of that micro glitter. I mean, you can see it right there. It's pretty heavy. The first time I did this, man, I got that glitter all over. It was in my eyes, it was all over my face. It went everywhere. So we're just going to lightly apply that, and then I'm just going to softly blend it in with my blush brush. If the micro glitters dispersed into the skin like better, so like, you know, they weren't like so heavy and glittery on top of the skin, I wouldn't mind it so much. But yeah, this leaves like a glittery finish on the skin that I'm not that crazy about. I'm going to set everything down using the Blooming setting spray. This is part of that Wet n Wild Cherry Blossom, Sakura Blossom collection. I love the blush in that collection, but that eyeshadow palette was awful. I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyelids with my Milani eyeshadow primer. So this is the palette. There are 15 shades. My biggest complaint about this is that there are 3 pressed glitters. These 2 right here and this one right here, all pressed glitters, and they really cheapen this palette. And this palette, you guys, was $16. Wet n Wild be pushing some of those prices, and I'm guessing that it costs so much because it is a collaboration. Quality-wise, this palette is $10 at best, maybe $6 or $7. It's not worth $16. I don't think so at all. I do think the artwork on the front is cute. You're getting a big glare from my ring light. I will drop some close-ups in here of the palette as well as some quick swatches. I did not swatch the pressed glitters. I don't see any point in doing that. The only thing I will say as far as color story that I feel like is missing is maybe a bright yellow, like to go with Sunshine Bear. You do have a shimmer up here, but I would love to have seen a really pretty bright yellow matte. I mean, maybe a bright red. Overall, though, the palette is cute. I do like the little embossings in the inside of each one of the pans that's representative of the different Care Bears, and I think that is so cute. Names are on the back of the palette. It's confusing, though, because they go from, like, instead of the shades on the back going from this way to this way, go the opposite direction. So the shade on this side is actually this one, so that gets a little bit confusing. But basically, what we are going to do is we are going to put this shade right here all over the lid. That shade is Love a Lot Bear, and this one looks a lot like the blush. Like they're very, very similar to each other. So we're going to put this one all over the lid, and then I'm going to take this shade right here, which is called Wish Bear. And actually has the little rainbow with the pot of gold that you see on Wish Bear's tummy. So this is the one that we are going to kind of put like on the outer corner, and then we will kind of go from there. I'm going to take that Love a Lot shade, which is just that really pretty pink. It's soft petal pink, looks very similar to the blush, except it's more matte. It doesn't have the luminescence that the blush has. I mean, that is super pretty. Wet n Wild does make a beautiful eyeshadow formula. $16 worth? No, but it is beautiful. We're basically just going to kind of dust this over the lid, focusing it on the outer part of the eye and softly blending it into the crease. We're just using the biggest fluffy brush from Blend Bunny. I think this is the Blend Bunny 5. But yeah, as I was saying, with the camera, I'm going to test it out with the soft box lights and see what kind of an effect that I get. Hopefully, you know, it'll soften everything and it won't look so super harsh. Basically, I want to see if it's the ring light that's the issue or if it's the camera. If after trying to film with the soft box lights, I'm still having an issue, then I'll know it's the camera and I can ship it back. I am going to keep the box lights though, because those will come in handy, you know, in the future. But as far as the camera, if this one doesn't work for me, I can always send it back and, you know, just keep looking for one that will work for me. We're taking Blend Bunny 4. We're going to dip into Wish Bear, and I'm going to lay that on the outer corner. You know, other than the inability to hold something up to the camera and have it autofocus, as you can see, the actual, you know, quality of the footage filming on this phone in particular is not bad. So I'm not like in a super hurry. But, you know, if with filming with the softbox does actually end up working for me, then that'd be fantastic, because the camera was less than $400. This shade is so pretty. It's not like super pigmented, but it is buildable, And, you know, that's fine by me. It doesn't have to be like super, super pigmented when you first apply it. But it's definitely building. Just mainly focusing on the outer part of the eye and blending that into the crease. I'm going to take Blend Bunny 1 and I'm going to go into this shade here, which is called Best Friend Bear, and that is that deep purple, and we're going to lay that in the lower lash line. Softly blended. I saw that Wet n Wild is coming out with a Pride collection. Trend Mood featured it on her Instagram, and it looks so super cute, so I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye out for that. We're going to take the angled side of this double-ended BH Cosmetics brush, and we're going to go into this one. It has like this little cute little music note in it, and that shade I think is Heart Song Bear. Yeah, that is Heart Song Bear. We're going to lay that on the outer part of the lid. I'm trying to quickly lay these shimmers down before my phone starts getting hot. That's one thing I did notice about the camera. I wasn't having that getting hot issue like my phone gets. That is so pretty. Do you see that? Oh, that is a glorious shimmer. That is stunning. Right now I'm seeing both pros and cons to both my phone and getting a camera. And it's just a matter of, you know, figuring out which one is going to work the best for me. So I'm going to take the smallest Blend Bunny brush and we're going to go into this shade, which is called Care A Lot Bear. It has got this really pretty rainbow mosaic. It reminds me of Rainbow Sorbet. That's going to be my inner corner highlight, and then that's going to be it for the shadows. So we're just going to lay this in that corner. This shade is slightly chunkier than the other shimmers, but it really is pretty. Oh, it's so pretty. Alright, so now I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to throw on liner, lashes, go ahead and remove the lip mask and throw something on my lips, and then we will do our final thoughts. When I was doing the research on my camera and I was trying to figure out the settings, I came across some websites and videos that talked about why we think we look so bad on camera, you know, in video versus the way that we look in a mirror. And I thought it was really, really interesting, the perspective and the way that they talked about it. Basically, when you're looking in the mirror, you know, we're used to looking at ourselves in this type of reflection, and it's mirrored, obviously, it's the opposite. So what we're seeing is a flipped image of ourselves. When you look in a video camera and you're seeing yourself on video, you're seeing the way everybody else sees you, which is not how you're used to seeing yourself. And I just thought that was really interesting, just kind of a different perspective on how we see ourselves versus the way we think other people see us and the way that we look, you know, in video. Like if you're somebody, you know, who does YouTube like I do, you know, when you're looking at yourself on video, sometimes you're kind of going, because there have been many times when the way that my makeup and the way that I'm looking when I look in the mirror is not coming off the same way on video or in a photo. And I just thought that that was an interesting way to explain it in a way that I hadn't really ever thought of before. Back to the makeup look. For my waterline, I'm using this liner from Colourpop. It's the cream gel liner. I'm not exactly sure. I think it's Boots is the shade. It's just a really pretty pale pink. Thought that would go pretty with this look. I did my wing with my Epic Ink liner. I've really been enjoying this. This is from NYX, and I'm using one of the Beauty Bay lip liners to line my lips. The shade is in Heart. It's a really pretty kind of a cool toned pink. And then my overall lip color is one of the Statement lipsticks from Milani. This shade is in Blushing Beauty. It's just a really pretty creamy pink. Now for some final thoughts on the products. I really do love Wet n Wild's bronzers. This one does show up on me, but barely. There's another one that I have. I can't think of the name of the shade right now. Sandy Beaches, I think, is the name of it. That one I absolutely love. I just wish that they had launched even just a couple of more shades of the bronzer, because the formula is just so nice. And the issue is that this is only going to suit like a certain amount of skin tones. The blush I absolutely loved. It's just a beautiful glowy pink. Like this is going to be absolutely beautiful in the springtime. Wasn't too fond of the highlighter. I love the whole Sunshine Bear theme of it. And with this being kind of a gold yellow and you have a little sunshine in there, it's just too glittery for me. I prefer a smoother, more wet looking highlight as opposed to a glittery highlight. So this is one that I'm not going to see myself really pulling out. I did like the eyeshadow palette. All the shades I used were pigmented. They blended beautifully. I loved all of the shimmers. This shade right here is just so pretty. Is this palette worth $16? No. But it was a beautiful palette overall. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give the video a thumbs up. It really does help the channel. If you're new to my channel and you are not already subscribed, I would love it if you would consider joining my family and hitting subscribe. And make sure to tap the notification bell so you get notified of any videos coming up in the future. You can also follow me on my other socials. I am on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and all of my socials are linked down in the description box below. Be safe, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.